would not believe what I have gone through to get this panda recorded, my friends. Anyway, so we're going to add some of the final touches here. I'm going to go ahead and add the panda's eye mask. But keep in mind, that's not really what they look like in real life. We're doing cartoons, but we still want those good details. This doesn't look very natural. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my direct selection, click on it, double click on the anchor point if you have to, and these little handles should pop up. And that allows me, again, to change the shape of my circle. I think that looks pretty decent. Command B. I'm actually going to show you something neat with the Pathfinder tools. First, I'm going to make a copy of the head. Come on. Command C, Command V. I'm going to send it backwards 2 steps. So 1 step. 2 steps. And the reason I made a copy of this is when you go to do this function in Pathfinder, sometimes it will delete, more often than not, it will delete the object you're creating. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to choose something called intersect. It uses just the shape where these 2 paths or shapes cross. And that's why I had to get rid of make a copy of the head before, because otherwise it'll go away. And now I have a nice round shape. Actually, I need to make that smaller. And I'm going to put the nose over here. And again, not really what a panda's nose looks like, so I'm going to fuss with it. Zoom on in. Go to my lovely direct selection. And I might want to add an anchor point to push that in just a bit so it looks more nose-like. Kind of, sort of. He's got a weird head tilt. I think I've got something goofy going on with my eyes here, so I'm going to move that up. Move this over. I'm going to rotate that. The nose should be more around there. I don't know if you can hear Flaherty playing the doot-doot flute. We've got some nice music going here. And I'm going to keep moving that until I'm happy with it. I think I maybe need to adjust this shape just a touch. And this is part of the artistic process, guys. You got to play with it and move things around until you're happy with them. There we go. Bring that in a little bit. Oh, that's so much better. That looks more like a panda bear. Goodness gracious. All right, let's move that nose out. Okay, this is actually good. If you get into something like this, don't freak out. This is called isolation mode. All you got to do to get out of it, double click off of it. Easy peasy breezy. Gonna move that over there. I'm gonna add some eyeballs right up in here. Change the fill to white. That looks a little bit stark, though, if you ask me. So I'm actually going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to change the shape just a touch. Rotate it so it matches my other eye. I'm going to add the pupil, because, again, this is cartoon. Change this to... If I change it now, it'll... change my other shape to black, and I don't want that. Let's click off of here, because I don't want anything selected right now. Here we go. Zooming back in, back to my ellipse tool. Click and drag. There we go. And there's a couple different ways you can do the shine on this here panda bear. You could just make another circle here. Make it white. You have an extra circle going on, but it's there. Or if you want to get fancy, you can use the minus front function. But if you use the minus front function, keep in mind, it's got to be the one on top. So this is your minus front option. If you need to get your Pathfinder, it's under Window, Pathfinder. I'm going to take that away. And now I have a little shine on my panda's eyeball. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to group both of those shapes, Command G, and I'm going to copy it, Command C, Command V, and move that on over here. Now some of this is going to go, again, off our plane of view. So I'm going to make a copy of this shape, Command C, Command F to paste in front, and I'm going to do the same thing and use that intersect button. Nope, because I forgot to select the eyeball too. No, that's not what we wanted at all. Okay. Let's try that again. Still didn't do what I wanted, so we're going to do it a different way. We're just going to erase that bit right there and scoot it on over till it lines up. Hey, there's more than one way to eat a Reese's, I guess. And last but not least, I need the mouth. So I could use my paintbrush, I could use my blob brush. I'm going to do the pencil tool, I think. Just a nice little talking curve. I'm going to fill that in black. You can make the mouth however you want. You could do it with the shapes tool, you could do it with Pathfinder, etc., etc. I think I'm going to adjust this just a bit. Just a little. Oops! Hey, look, it's that copy I made that I didn't need. Scoot this over. And I'm going to rotate that just because it's bugging me. These are all nitpicky little things. Put that down. Gonna fix that. Hopefully you guys will be... Whoa, no, didn't want that. Hopefully you guys will not need to worry about doing this, because you'll just be perfect from the start. There we go. I'm gonna scooch that eye back over. No, that's not what I wanted. Scooch all of the eye over, please. Not just some of it. Why did it ungroup? We just don't know. I love it when things work the way they're supposed to. There we go. Mostly, sort of. Okay, so last to add a little bit of realism, I am going to add a shadow. Again, I'm going to come on in with the pencil tool. I want it to vaguely match the shape of my panda. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. Now, things to think about. If you've created like a sun or something, say in the background, we'll do that real quick because I wanna. And that's why you deselect things, children, before you change your color. Here we go. Nice warm sun. No corner suns. None of this. None of this. You're not in elementary anymore. If the sun was actually that close to our dear panda, he would catch on fire. So I'm actually going to turn that into a gradient. If I need to change the colors on my gradient, I go to my gradient tool, which you'll need in just a minute here. If your gradient palette is not showing, look for it first and then pull it from the window. And I'm going to double click on those. There's a nice yellow. We'll go into orange. Ooh, I like that. Cool. And if I wanted to, I could change the direction of the gradient, but I'm not gonna, not right now. I'm gonna go back to that path. We could add some clouds and bamboo and all kinds of other stuff. So I'm gonna fill this in with a gradient as well. For right now, it's the color of the sun, which is obviously not how shadows work. The reason I put the sun in there is I want you guys to be aware of the light source. And this will take place in your other projects as well. Because we know the sun is behind the panda here, it makes sense for the shadow to go this way. It would not make sense for the shadow to go this way, because the light source is back here. That's not how physics works. Or light. I'm not sure that light has to do with physics, but I'm an art teacher, not a scientist. Moving on. So I'm actually going to make both of these black. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the opacity. One of them is going to be 40%. The other is going to be 0%. And now I have a nice little shadow peeking off the page of my panda cartoon. I'm going to actually bring that point in just a bit. Command Z. And now we are basically done, aside from any little details you want to add.